Welcome to special board meeting for the Newman Crozana Unified School District, and today is June 18th. Roll call, Mr. Watt.
Here.
Mr. Rivas.
Here.
Mrs. Cerruti.
Here.
Ms. Gonzalez is not here, and Mr. Cabral is here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Somebody help Frank out. Ready? Begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 4, public communication, agenda items. Any person wishing to comment on an agenda item may do so. Please step to the podium and state your name. It would be appreciated if you would limit your comments to 3 minutes. California law prohibits the school board from taking any action on any matter which is not on the posted agenda unless it is determined to be an emergency by the board. Per board policy BB 9323, individual speakers may be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda item. The board may limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. At this time, is there anybody in the public who want to address the board? Seeing none. Item 5, approval of the agenda. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda for a special meeting today?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Cerruti. Mr. Watt?
Aye.
Mr. Rivas?
Aye.
Mrs. Cerruti?
Aye.
Ms. Gonzalez is absent. And Mr. Cabral votes aye. Action item 6, approve change order Orson High School track replacement RFC number 3, the grading portion. Mr. Vargas, would you want to comment on that? All right.
Good afternoon, Board President Cabral, Superintendent Pruitt, members of our board, and members of our community. The change order you have before you is for Hensley Paving through TBS to grade our existing football field to top of drain. So let me explain. When they designed and did all the engineering for the track has to be graded level to our existing pathways, which are the current walkways leading you up the grandstands. It would be very costly to change the elevation of the concrete slabs. So it was decided to regrade 20 feet around the home side, visitor side grass to make up that 6-inch difference over the 20 feet so that we end up where the grass lands right up on top of the track drain. So there's no trip hazard. It's a minimal cost. You see before you $34,259 plus TBS puts a 5% markup on it, and then with the 1% bond fee at $359.72, the total cost for this change is $36,331.75. This is an important thing to do because keep in mind, our track elevation cannot change. So if we do not make up this transition difference, we would have a 6-inch trip hazard in going from our new track onto the football field. So they'll be taking care of this all the way around the field, and they're just waiting for your discretion on approval to proceed.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Vargas?
This is bond money, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Does not affect the general fund.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, could I get a motion to approve action item A, approve change order Orson High School track replacement, RFC number 3, the grading project? Could I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Cerruti.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. Mr. Watt?
Aye.
Mr. Rivas?
Aye.
Mrs. Cerruti?
Aye.
Mrs. Gonzalez is absent, and Mr. Cabral votes aye. Action item B, approve change order, Orestamba High School synthetic track surfacing. Mr. Vargas, you just want to stay up there?
Yes, so the change order you see before you is listed currently at just above $52,000. The standard track that was bidded on, and it's universal across high schools and collegiate fields all across the country, is what's called the standard red. Well, red is not quite our favorite color here for Newman Cross Landing. We prefer purple and deep grays. And so the contractor considers any color in change an upgrade cost. And we're not just changing from from red to purple. If you look at what's before in front of Mr. Rivas, you could pass that around. That is a rendering of what our track would look like if we do what's basically a 50-50. You'll see the D zones where the long jump, the high jump, and triple jump are. We would still have purple running lanes, but with a medium gray background so that it really highlights the purple. Our original design could have cost up to $76,000. That was all purple. The issue with that is there's no transitional colors, so it looks a little bright and undefined. What you have before you is approximately not to exceed a $52,000 change order. We're still negotiating that, trying to make sure we're getting credit for the red that they're not doing. So we're still working on that. So this request for board approval is for a not to exceed of $52,000 some odd dollars. Thank you, Mr. Pruitt. And the anticipation is the contractor will come back at $50,000 or just below. And this would allow us to have the colors you see before us and give some highlights to the areas that we need highlighted, but yet not take away from the rest of the running lanes.
Mr. Vargas, two questions. How long will that surface last for before it has to be like either repainted or
Yes.
resurfaced?
So we get a 10-year wear guarantee on the surface, and the values are determined by temperature. Obviously, weather elements play a huge factor. Just so you guys know, the all-weather track that's going down, think of it as a Goodyear tire. It's all black rubber. Every single all-weather track is black rubber. I was under the impression it's like some of our pour-and-play playgrounds, like over at Hurt Barrington. It's kind of a greenish and black color. This is not. This goes down straight black, and they custom paint every lane, every running lane, every white line between those lanes. So it's, if I could say it this way, it's perfect, meaning that this is a fully competitive high school regulation track for us to be able to host events. So the value in that, we're going to go at least 10 years before we have it repainted. We want to start by doing it right, because we don't want to pay to do this again. My estimate, if you were to ask me, Mr. Vargas, when are we doing this again? Another, let's say, 50,000. We're looking at 12 to 15 years out. And depending on where, how much use the track gets, and of course the sun and weather, that could vary, but we do have a 10-year guarantee. So that's,
So any damage to the running surface, like divots, cleat, marks, if
yes.
it needs to be replaced, the company will come out and
correct.
take care of it?
And the way that works is they have what's called a natural occurring tear or lift versus a mechanical tear. So for example, you won't see me driving the John Deere tractor across it.
Better not.
Okay, but we may have a runner that has a shoe, and as they're running, a piece of the track lifts. Just like with our tennis courts, we had a good solid 2-year warranty on the courts, and just before the 2 years, I took photos of all of the cracks, any lifting paint, and the vintage tennis court company came out and took care of those at no charge to our district. We did spend a little money, approximately $4,000, to have pickleball lines painted. And that's because Mr. Pruitt and I had some requests for those using our tennis courts for pickleball, and it was noted that they didn't have lines. So we added those painted lines, and those also will be good for 10 to 12 years.
And those pickleball lines also benefited our PE classes.
A very good point, because they are playing pickleball. And so So once again, I do recommend the not to exceed. I know it's listed as $52,000 and some odd dollars, but just know we're still in negotiations. They just could not give us the final number before today's meeting.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions for Mr. Vargas?
I like the color. I like the rendering. I like the outline. It's really nice. The high school I work at, we have a very similar one. We do like red at Series, but you know, it's going to be a beautiful track. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I like red too for other reasons, for my team I support, but no, purple, that would be awesome.
I think we're going to try to go purple or go home, and I think we're going to provide a track where people will be very proud of.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
So what we're asking is approval of the change order. It would be what, number 4? But not to exceed the quote of $52,642.
All right. Action item B, approve change order, Orson High School synthetic track surface number 4. Upwards amount, a top out, maximum dollar amount would be $52,000 and some change as listed. Could I get a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Cerruti. Mr. Walk?
Aye.
Mr. Rivas?
Aye.
Mrs. Cerruti?
Aye.
Ms. Gonzalez is absent, and Mr. Cabral votes aye. Action item C, approval of provisional internship for Jessica Hurtado. Dr. Seha.
So we have Jessica Hurtado, who was hired as a mild to moderate teacher, and she needs some requirements still to enter a formal credential program. So we usually do these provisional internships for them. So that's what she's there for. As part of the provisional internship, there are some requirements that we need to submit to the state. For example, the job posting. There were some letters we sent to Stanislaus State, for example, to determine if there was anyone completing the credential that might be interested in the program, and also job fairs that I attended. So I attended a couple job fairs, one at Stanislaus State, one at Teachers College of San Joaquin, to talk to prospective candidates for the job. As we looked, Jessica Hurtado currently works in our district as an RBT, so she's one of those that we were able to grow, and there's just a couple of requirements she needs prior to entering an internship program, so we do this provisional internship permit for her.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from Mr. Seha? No? Okay. I approve action item C, approval of provisional internship for Jessica Hurtado. Could I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Cerruti. Mr. Walk?
No, and again, I think every SPED teacher, special education teacher that has come up since I've been on the board past year and a half, they've needed a provisional credential, and I would like to see some people with experience and qualifications, like having a credential.
Okay. I have one other question on that. Of all the people that applied for that position, I know SPED department is really challenging to get applicants. How many people did we have apply?
I believe there was about 3 applicants for it, and none of them had full credentials. And like I said, like I mentioned to you, one of the provisions of these provisional internship provincials are us going out and try to recruit credentialed teachers for it. Like I said, I was at a couple job fairs. We spoke to different people trying to get them to apply, and that's where we're at. I mean, the alternative would be, having long-term sub, which other districts are doing. But we can only keep a long-term, or not even a long-term, a sub in there for 20 days at a time. And there are some districts where they're not even finding people that they're able to get on these provisional or STIP credentials, that they're shifting teachers every 20 days. And I mean, that's an alternative, but that's where we're at.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Mr. Rivas?
Aye.
Ms. Cerruti?
Aye.
Ms. Gonzalez is absent, and Mr. Cabral votes aye. Action item D, approval of provisional internship for Melissa Villegas. Mr. Salem?
Okay. Melissa currently teaches in our district. She was on what was called a short-term staff permit. She is completing some requirements towards her credential, and in order to keep her employed, we are requesting a provisional internship permit. She's going to be teaching first grade at Heard Barrington. She's been doing an amazing job. She's another one that started mid-year with us, and she is a person that used to be in our also an RBT, a registered behavior technician. So she's worked through the ranks here. So that's the reason for this provisional internship permit.
Okay. And I like that where our own employees want to go above and beyond and go to the next level and get into the classroom. I know we have multiple people that started as, working for Matt as, in the custodian and stuff like that, and they continue their education in their school and they come back and, teach where they, the hometown they grew up in and started out. So I think that's great. Any other questions for Dr. Sal? All right. Approval of provisional internship for Melissa Villegas. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy. Mr. Watt?
Aye.
Mr. Rivas?
Aye.
Mrs. Rudy?
Aye.
And Ms. Gonzalez is absent, and Mr. Cabral votes aye. Thank you, everyone, for coming. That will adjourn the special meeting for today at 3:16 p.m.
I just want to say thank you. This is allowing us to keep the track on schedule. So it's, thank you again for making time and keeping us on track.
No problem. Thank you guys for coming.